All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing. Up front will be Jeremy Gardner and Patrick Gitter. Nate Johnson and David Ballard on the second row. Blair Patterson, Brandon Newey have the third row. Kenny Hyde Jr., Russell Worth on the fourth. Leah Thomas and Lonnie Roberts rounding out the top 10. Richie Joplin and Blake Vick in 11th and 12th. 13th is PJ Cox, John Billingsley 14th, Jacob Morgan 15th, and Jarrett Woodard 16th. Justin Swafford 17th, Ryan McDaniel 18th, Sean Corbridge 19th, and James Smith in 20th. Brandon McLaughlin, Patrick Piper 21st and 22nd, Lane Corey 23rd, Mickey Mouse in 24th. 25th is Joshua Anderson, Pudge all the way back in 26th, Colby Whipple in 27th. A long way to go for Pudge and Colby Whipple here tonight. Quick look at the track. Track temperature 74 degrees, 67 degree air temperature, no humidity, and this 2.5 mile rectangular track, the location of so much racing excitement over the years. IndyCar, F1, and now NASCAR. It's going to be a wild ride here tonight as well. Well, it looks like we have one car struggling to get going here. A couple of cars not getting... There we go. Looks like everybody is rolling. Thanks, Brad. Yeah, I agree. You can never count out Pudge. You can never count out those guys in the back. Expect them to come forward. Do it quickly. The draft here is so strong. These guys are going to be fighting their way to the front from the drop of the green. And I can tell you from past experience, turn one gets very exciting on that first lap, but even more exciting on that second lap. Things could get very interesting very quickly at the front. Could we see a big one here at Indy? Pace car is in. Here they come down the front straightaway, waiting for Barney the flag man to drop the green flag. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away at Indy. And it looks like the outside line got a really rough start. Somebody had a problem on the restart. Now Jeremy Gardner and Patrick Gitter side by side for the lead. Here comes Blair Patterson shooting to the bottom already. Out of turn two, out of the short chute. They are spreading out all over the back of the field here, trying to make it 3 and 4 wide. Meanwhile, up front, Gardner holds Patrick Gitter off for the moment. Blair Patterson still fighting up to third spot. PJ Cox already up a couple of positions on the first lap. Looking to the back, Pudge and Colby Whipple both up 2 spots already as well. Off into turn one again. Pudge really sending in there. Colby following him through. They're trying to get 3 wide right in front of them too. Back down the back straightaway. This is where you have to have speed off that turn, get a good draft, get down that straightaway, and hopefully get a good run into the next turn. Jeremy Gardner's got something figured out. He is already pulling away from Patrick Gitter. Blair Patterson securely into third. Nate Johnson into fourth. Brandon Newey now up into fifth. Striker saying as long as King Yesa beats Patrick Gitter, all will be right with the world. Russell Worth dropping back just a little bit. Looks like he might get shuffled back another one. He had a great qualifying run, but struggling here on cold tires. Got PJ Cox looking to the bottom. PJ not struggling at all tonight. Fastest lap last time was Blair Patterson, though. Oh, we've got a wreck and Russell Worth involved. Caution. Ryan McDaniel might have been involved in this. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Russell Worth was already spinning, several cars involved, including Ryan McDaniel. Let's see what happened. Looks like the incident might have started with Russell. There's Russell up on the high side. Looks like PJ Cox just drifted up, barely clips him, sends him into the wall. He just couldn't get that car saved. Several drivers involved, and Colby Whipple manages to avoid it. Looks like Mickey Mouse got involved in it. John Billingsley. Several drivers caught up in it. First caution of the night. Jeremy Gardner still in the lead. Patrick Gitter in second. Blair Patterson third. Nate Johnson fourth. Kenny Hyde Jr. in fifth. David Ballard, Leah Thomas, Richie Joplin, and Blake Vicken rounding out the top 10. Biggest mover so far has been Patrick Piper, who started in 22nd and is already up to 16th. Also, Pudge up 6 spots into 20th. Colby Whipple up 6 spots into 21st. They did say they were going to work together and charge toward the front. They're making it happen, and they're going to pit road. The top 14 stay out, and everybody else is on pit road. Blake Vick and Justin Swafford, Jarrett Woodard, Brandon McLaughlin, Patrick Piper, Colby Whipple, Joshua Anderson Pudge, Ryan McDaniel coming off pit road after heavy damage. Lane Corey, Mickey Mouse, Russell Worth, and John Billingsley all on pit road. Brandon McLaughlin wasn't involved that we saw in that incident, but comes to pit road. Anyway, let's see if we can get a quick word. Hey, Brandon, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. How's it going?
Hey, really good, man. I have to ask, did not see you get caught up in that at all, but you came to pit road getting tires a bit early?
No, I didn't get tires. I actually did get caught up in it. I tried avoiding it to the low side. I went through the grass, and they all came down and got me.
Oh, okay. We missed you getting caught, so I wasn't sure if that was tire strategy or just some periphery damage.
Nope, unfortunately, I had to use that quick repair.
Well, hopefully you can keep that car out of trouble the rest of the race, bud.
All right, thanks.
Brandon McLaughlin, definitely a little upset about that one. Rough start to the race for a lot of drivers out here, already having to use that quick repair only a few laps into this. Still 22 cars on the lead lap. Ryan McDaniel, Mickey Mouse, Lane Corey, John Billingsley and Russell Worth all 1 or more laps down at the moment. As they stack back up for the restart, it's Gardner and Gitter again on the front row. Blair Patterson, Nate Johnson on the second. Brandon Newey and Kenny Hyde Jr. on the third. David Ballard, Leah Thomas on the fourth. Richie Joplin and Lonnie Roberts rounding out the top 10. Everybody from Sean Corbridge on back has been to pit road, some for repairs, some took tires, some just topped off on fuel. Several different strategies playing out here early. Down the back straightaway, the pace car will drop off out of turn 4. Did hear that Jeremy Gardner and Jeremy Edwards were the 2 fastest in the practice race on Monday. Gardner up front leading right now. Through the short chute between 3 and 4, getting ready for the pace car to drop back off. Blair ended up having to get evasive down to the bottom not to run into the back of Gardner. Gets back in line. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air at Indianapolis. And it's a drag race down into turn number 1 right now, up at the front. Down through turn 1, Jeremy Edwards has the nose ahead as they go off into turn 2. Back in the pack, a lot of fighting going on. PJ Cox continues to work his way forward. It gets a little close with Morgan. Looks like a couple of drivers might have kissed the wall out of turn 2 that time. Patrick Gitter has the nose ahead, but here comes Gardner back to the bottom. Blair Patterson right behind him on the bottom, trying to get the nose in on Patrick Gitter. Blair almost gets it in, but Patrick shuts him down for the moment. Nate Johnson right there in 4th and Brandon Newey in 5th. Now begins the snaking down the front straightaway. Anything they can do to break the draft before they get to the turn. Patterson still trying to get to the inside of Patrick Gitter. Gitter came down a little bit, but Blair just kept sending it. Blair finally gets the nose in as they go down the back straightaway. Patterson has the run off into turn 3. He is going to take the position. Oh, he got the apron. Got a little too much of the apron there in 3. Washed back up the track. Had to get out of it just a hair, but he's still dead even. Meanwhile, Patrick Gitter getting a little bit of a push from Nate Johnson. Nate tries to move over. No room there. He slides back into place. Meanwhile, Brandon Newey now up to 5th. Kenny Hyde Jr. now in 6th. Jacob Morgan up 4 spots to 11th. James Smith has already advanced 6 spots. He is now up into 14th. Patrick Piper advancing 6 spots. He is up to 16th. Look who's in 18th. Up 8 spots. Pudge is charging forward. After rough qualifying, did not score a qualifying lap. Started at the back. Obvious damage on the front end of that truck. He is still sending it and making his way forward. Out of turn 1, here comes Gardner. And he has opened up a big gap as Blair Patterson now in 2nd tries to run him down. Patrick Gitter back to 3rd. Nate Johnson in 4th. Not for much longer. Brandon Newey to the bottom. Brandon has a little bit of help from Kenny Hyde Jr. down on the bottom as they go off into turn 3. Nate Johnson stuck up on the high line, and it looks like he's going to be able to slide back in. Richie Joplin qualified in 11th up to 8th. Richie's been moving up the points every single week. Richie now up to 7th in points, just looking to close in on Jeremy Edwards. And I have not seen Jeremy Edwards in the field tonight, so he is going to have an opportunity to close that points gap up here tonight. Gardner's lead now almost 2 seconds over Blair Patterson. Patrick Gitter in 3rd, Brandon Newey in 4th. Nate Johnson currently running in 5th. And Nate Johnson looked like he was struggling a little bit there off of turn 4, as a lot of the field going single file for the moment. Gardner's lead 2.25 seconds. He continues to pull away. The roof cam on Patrick Gitter's truck. Blake Vicken now up into 10th. Jacob Morgan has lost a position. He was up into 11th. Actually, at one point he was in 10th. Now back into 12th. Meanwhile, Pudge with that damaged front end continues his march forward. He is now in 18th. Colby Whipple still moving forward as well in 20th. Everybody taking it fairly easy now, settling into a rhythm. Jeremy Gardner out front will have to be aware that as he settles into that rhythm, it is very easy at this track to get distracted or just to lose focus on these long straightaways. Especially when you're out there all alone, mistakes do happen. Tire fall off also already starting to become an issue. Jeremy's fastest lap 52.13, last time by 53.13. Already 1 second off the tires. The highest running car that had been to pit road right now is Patrick Piper in 15th after starting at 22nd. But based on his time, it looks like he just stopped for fuel. Either fuel or repairs, I can't be sure, but I'm willing to bet he got fuel regardless. And could some of these guys that got fuel on lap 4, could that come into play before the race is over? Joshua Anderson has been to pit road and come back off. He is currently being scored in last place, several laps down. Blair Patterson in second, now 3 seconds back. Patrick Gitter right there with him. Brandon Newey in 4th, not far behind Nate Johnson, currently in 5th. Kenny Hyde Jr. in 6th. David Ballard 7th. Richie Joplin now in 8th. Blake Vicken in 9th. Lonnie Roberts currently in 10th. Leah Thomas has dropped back to 11th. Jacob Morgan in 12th. PJ Cox currently in 13th. And James Smith in 14th. Patrick Piper now up into 15th. Jarrett Woodard in 16th. Brandon McLaughlin up 4 spots into 17th. Justin Swafford, who has been way up there in the points, currently 3rd in points, currently running in 18th. Pudge has slipped back now to 19th, and Colby Whipple in 20th. Sean Corbridge 21st, 22nd is Lane Corey. Those are all the drivers on the lead lap. Russell Worth in 23rd, 24th is Ryan McDaniel. John Billingsley in 25th. Joshua Anderson 26th and Mickey Mouse in 27th. He has come to pit road. You're probably right, Jeff. Jeremy Gardner came into tonight 2nd in points. A 56-point difference behind Patrick Gitter with only 1 win this season to Patrick Gitter 6. If he can beat Gitter, he can close that down just a little bit. And the further back that Patrick Gitter finishes, the better it'll be as we get late in the season. Every point is going to count. Brandon Newey trying to run down Patrick Gitter, just 1 second behind. Nate Johnson right with him. Kenny Hyde Jr. also in this group. Just a little bit further back, Blake Vicken leads David Ballard and Richie Joplin. That is for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Lonnie Roberts back there in 10th. Pit stop. Oh, we've got a car on pit road. Joshua Anderson is going back to pit road. Heavy damage to that truck. He may very well have been caught up in that first accident, picked up more damage, trying to get it repaired. Gardner has checked out. He is in another time zone, 5 seconds ahead in less than 20 laps, and Patrick Gitter going for 2nd. Patrick gets by Blair Patterson, now up to 2nd. Blair back to 3rd. Nate Johnson has gotten past Brandon Newby up into 4th. Newby back into 5th. Kenny Hyde Jr. in 6th. Tire wear really starting to show. The handling is going to go away. The guys that saved a little bit of tire here are going to have an advantage. Patrick Piper is on pit road. Try saying that 5 times fast. Patrick Piper is on pit road. That ain't easy. Hey, good evening, Richie. How you doing, buddy? Gardner out front. Looks like Patrick Piper was short pitting. We'll see if, looks like Sean Corbridge had gone to pit road. Patrick Piper on his way back off. And here comes the leader, Gardner on pit road. Patrick Gitter stays out. Blair Patterson stays out. Nate Johnson, Kenny Hyde Jr., David Ballard on pit road. Lonnie Roberts on pit road. Leah on pit road. PJ Cox, James Smith, Jarrett Woodard, Brandon McLaughlin. It almost got interesting there at the entrance to pit road. Indy is a bit of a tricky pit road to get onto at times. Half the field currently on pit road. Patrick Piper was the first. He's already back out. Patrick Gitter now in the lead. Blair Patterson to second. And here they come. Patrick Gitter and Blair Patterson to pit road. Blake Vicken stays out all along as Richie Joplin, Brandon Newey, and Jacob Morgan all go in. Blake Vicken leads for the first time tonight. Talked about the guys that stayed out or that pitted on that first run. Even if they stopped for fuel only, would that come into play here tonight? If we see a caution before Vicken hits pit road, it could definitely be a big factor. If it stays green and Blake Vicken can stay out just a little bit longer than everybody else, who knows what could happen. It gets a little bit dicey right behind Vicken, but he stays out again. Swafford now in second place. Pudge in third. Colby Whipple in fourth. Those four drivers have not been to pit road. The gap, Blake Vickens lead 4.1 seconds. Pudge back in third, still damage on the front end of that truck. 7 seconds behind Swafford. Colby Whipple still right there. Jeremy Gardner, who was leading before the pit stops, is now back in fifth. But he has extended his lead as Blake Vicken now comes to pit road. Swafford stays out. Gardner's lead over Nate Johnson currently 7 seconds. Once pit stop cycle through, that'll put Gardner back in the lead and Nate Johnson to second place. Pudge has got to look at the right side damage on Pudge's truck as well. He has got to be hoping a caution will come out here. Will Swafford come in this time? No. Pudge is coming to pit road this time. Colby Whipple is staying out. Colby Whipple and Justin Swafford, the last two out there, they both pitted on lap 4 under the caution, trying to stretch the fuel as far as possible. Jeremy Gardner currently running in third place, will have the lead once they pit stop cycle through, and he is only 11 seconds back from Whipple. And he is closing in with those fresher tires. Last time by, the difference in tires was dramatic. Swafford ran a 54.9, Gardner a 52.8. Colby Whipple gives it up and comes to pit road. Swafford stays out though. Swafford has played the fuel strategy and won this season, looking to do it again here at Indianapolis, but this is a tough track. If you run out, if you don't get it just right, it is a long tow back to pit road. And it looks like Swafford is going to come in. That will give the lead back to Gardner. Gardner, whose lead over Nate Johnson, continuing to grow 7.3 seconds. Blair Patterson back in third, 2 seconds behind Nate. Brandon Newey in fourth. Kenny Hyde Jr. will be in fifth. Patrick Piper in sixth. Swafford on his way out as Richie Joplin comes by for seventh. Swafford's going to come out. Let's see where he is going to end up. Currently in 15th. He will have the freshest tires on track, though. And it looks like he'll have a little bit of drafting help once he gets back out as well. James Smith not far behind. Pudge back there in 17th. Colby Whipple back in 18th. We'll be watching Swafford closely to see what that strategy does for him here as he comes by Mickey Mouse up on the high side. Meanwhile, Jeremy Gardner's lead has shrunk a little bit, now down to just 7 seconds over Nate Johnson. Blair Patterson, Brandon Newey nose to tail in third and fourth. Kenny Hyde Jr. in fifth. And Patrick Piper now up into sixth. After starting in 22nd, he is having one heck of a night. Richie Joplin now up into seventh, continuing to march his way forward. Lonnie Roberts now up into eighth, and Blake Vicken in ninth. Jacob Morgan has cracked back up into the top 10. He is currently running in 10th. Leah in 11th, PJ Cox in 12th, David Ballard in 13th, Jarrett Woodard currently in 14th, Justin Swafford in 15th, but freshest tires on the track and just ran his fastest lap of the race. Pudge currently in 16th after starting in 26th, did not score a lap in qualifying. James Smith in 17th. Colby Whipple also did not score a lap in qualifying. Apparently he was repeatedly attacked by the wall in turn 2. Patrick Gitter has had some sort of issue on pit road. He's 19th. Based on his time on pit road, I'm going to have to say that yes, that was a speeding penalty. Patrick Gitter now back in 19th, and that could be huge for the point situation here tonight. Especially with Gardner leading and not far behind, Gardner could lap him. Gitter came into tonight with a 56-point lead over Jeremy Gardner. Now Gardner leading and Patrick Gitter back in 19th. That would make up almost the entire points gap, I do believe. Joshua Anderson has crashed. Let's see what happened. He has had trouble all night. Bounces off the wall. Looks like in turn 1 in the grass on the pit lane. Manages to get it woed up without going out on track. Had to tow to pit road. An early finish for Joshua Anderson and a bit of a heartbreak for him. Gardner now getting into more and more lap traffic. That is Sean Corbridge right in front of him. Sean currently running in 20th, jumps up to the high side. I think Sean might have gotten the wall there. That means the next car to be lapped is the points leader, Patrick Gitter. What in the world? Let me see if I can get a hold of one of our race control guys. Hey, Dean, it's Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
So, am I correct in assuming Patrick Gitter got a speeding penalty on pit road?
He sure did.
That has to have been the first time I think that's happened this season, but I know looking at the point situation with Gardner leading, if they finished as they run, that would close up most of that points gap, would it not?
That it would.
I
don't need a caution.
It could make for a very, very interesting night tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You guys are doing great work. Great job. Good luck, buddy.
You as well. Thank you.
All right. Huge shout out to Dean Webb and Auto Cruz, two of the fastest drivers in the field, currently working race control here tonight and have been for a portion of this season. Huge shout out to them, and they did confirm Patrick Gitter did get a speeding penalty. That is the first time we've seen Gitter get a speeding penalty, or I do believe any penalty this season. Also confirming that would close the points gap up dramatically. That would put several battles back a lot closer coming into the final few races of the season. Robert Winger, yeah, I caught several drivers locking them up. Just didn't notice. In fact, let's look real quick because I don't think he was. It looks like Brandon McLaughlin got a speeding, must have gotten one, as well as John Billingsley. So a couple of drivers. It is tricky, as we mentioned. When we saw a lot of smoke on pit road entry, it is tricky to get on pit road here. With Jeremy Gardner leading, Patrick Gitter in 19th, that points battle is going to close up. Third in points, Justin Swafford came in tonight 18 points behind Gardner. Swafford currently back in 14th right now. And Kenny Hyde Jr. 10 points behind him, currently running in 5th. So we could see massive changes. Last week we were talking about how the points seem to be settling in just a little bit. Just take him to the Brickyard and everything changes. Could this be the night that Jeremy Gardner starts chasing that championship? Could this be the deciding factor in the points battle? Nate Johnson currently in second. He is almost 9 seconds behind Jeremy Gardner. Blair Patterson in third, right there with him. Blair Patterson missed several races, had been up in the top 3 in points early in the season, missed several races, dropped back as far as 13th in points, has now cracked back into the top 10. Oh, Nate gets the wall. And it looks like Blair is waiting to take advantage. He has the momentum down the front straightaway. Yeah, with Jeremy Edwards not being here tonight too, several drivers in the top 10 might just flip points positions. This could be a night that decides a lot of this championship. And Jeremy Gardner is definitely here to try and take the title. Blair Patterson in second, now starting to pull away from Nate. Nate's got some heavy right rear damage to that truck after getting the wall. Brandon Newey in fourth, starting to close in. Brandon Newey was in the top 10 in points not long ago, has drifted back just a little bit. Tonight is a night for him to make a comeback, as well as it looks like we might be about to start seeing some green flag pit stops. We saw most of the field stop around lap 19 to 21. It's been about 19 laps since the first one stopped, and Leah is on pit road. Mickey Mouse has been to pit road. And there is Patrick Gitter in turn one, there was Jeremy Gardner in turn one. He is just a short shoot away from Patrick Gitter. He could end up lapping the points leader tonight. Patrick Piper is on pit road. Blair Patterson now up in second place, but 10 seconds behind Gardner. Nate Johnson dropping back with that damage, and Brandon Newey gaining on him, as is Kenny Hyde Jr. Worth noting, Pudge is now up to 11th. Looks like he got that truck repaired, and it is flying toward the front. He is trying to get back into the top 10. Jeremy Gardner is on pit road, as is Nate Johnson and Kenny Hyde Jr. Blair Patterson goes to the lead for the first time tonight. After green flag pit stops, we'll try and cycle through and see just how the points are standing coming at this moment. Because I would imagine that we are going to see some major points changes after tonight. Blair Patterson, one of the drivers that pitted on lap 21. But don't forget the car back in third. Blake Vicken, he pitted on lap 23. And where is Swafford? Swafford pitted on lap 26. He can go further than anybody. Swafford currently in 6th, and we've seen him do this more than once this season. Stretches that fuel mileage, stretches that tire wear, and makes something out of nothing. Swafford could go to lap 52 if I'm doing the math right on this. Yeah, he could go to lap 52 and could... Wow, he would be really, really close on making it on one more stop. That one less pit stop could mean all the difference when it takes 50 to 52 seconds just to get down pit road, get a stop, and get back out, as Blair Patterson, Brandon Newey, and Blake Vicken all go to pit road. Jacob Morgan now coming to pit road. Swafford will reassume the lead. If this thing goes green, could this be another instance of Justin Swafford outsmarting everybody here? If he can make it to lap 53, he could go the distance on one more stop. Whereas everybody who is pitting right now would have to make at least one more stop around lap 60. Swafford would make it a 2-stop race. Everybody else has to do a 3-stop race. Pudge also staying out, although not as long in the previous run. Pudge currently in second. He'll be able to make it at least another 6 to 7 laps before pitting. And I don't think we have seen this yet this season. To my memory, we have not yet seen it, but you're seeing it here at the Brickyard. Patrick Gitter is a lap down in 19th. Justin Swafford currently has a 3.9 second lead over Pudge. Gardner has been to pit road. He is now in third. Nate Johnson back in fourth. His gap is 12.3 seconds. Blair Patterson in fifth at the moment. Kenny Hyde Jr. sixth. Richie Joplin up to seventh now. Patrick Piper in eighth. Jacob Morgan in ninth. And Lonnie Roberts back in the top 10. Brandon Newey back in 11th. When you're playing chess, you visualize the finish and work backwards from there. I think Swafford has been playing chess in multiple races this season. Did the math backwards and stretching the fuel, stretching the tires. It's paid off before. Will it pay off again here tonight? Pudge back there in second. No, Pudge is coming now. A little bit earlier than we expected. Gets woed up for the cone. Now Gardner will take back over second place. Gardner is about to lap Russell Worth. Russell currently back in 23rd, a couple of laps down. Have not seen anybody try a 2-tire pit stop yet tonight. Everybody 4 tires in fuel every stop. Jeremy Gardner in second, but 10 seconds behind Swafford. He is gaining on him. But in 7 more laps, Swafford will make his final pit stop. Gardner will still have to make 1 more after that. Nate Johnson back in third, 12 seconds behind Gardner. Blair Patterson in fourth. Kenny Hyde Jr. in fifth. Richie Joplin in sixth. Jacob Morgan currently running in 7th place, and 8th place is Patrick Piper all over the back bumper of Morgan here, trying to get him loose up off the turns. Down the back straightaway, Piper had a massive run into turn 1, but lost some momentum in the short chute. Swafford is on pit road early. He is going to have to stop again. I don't know why he chose to come in this time. Mathematically, he could have made it on 1 more stop. Now he will have to stop again. And Gardner now back to the lead, almost 13 seconds over Nate Johnson. And let's talk about the point situation. With him up front and Patrick Gitter currently back in 17th, a lap down, that is going to close up the vast majority of the gap between first and second in points with just over 5 races left to go. This is going to come down to possibly to the final race to decide the championship. Justin Swafford back in third. I'm not sure what the strategy move was, pitting when he did. He is now back in 15th. Fourth in points, Kenny Hyde Jr. now up in fourth on track, way ahead of Swafford. He'll pick up some points. Pudge Pudge came into tonight 5th in points, currently running in 12th. Jeremy Edwards came in tonight 6th in points. He is not in the race. Richie Joplin 7th in points. Currently running in 5th. He's going to make up some points tonight. So a big shakeup in the points in the top 10 after tonight. The obvious question that comes of this, is this Gardner's opportunity to go steal the championship from Patrick Gitter? Let us know what you think. Nate Johnson back in second, had a gap on Blair Patterson for a while, but Blair now back, closing back in. Blair Patterson, another one, as we mentioned, missing out on quite a few races. Now working his way back up into the top 10 in points, currently running in third. He came in tonight tied for 9th with Colby Whipple. He'll actually get past Colby Whipple and Blake Vicken, move up to 8th in points, and be very close in points with the 5th place driver right now, Richie Joplin. Robert, you're absolutely right. A late race caution here could change everything. I am still trying to figure out Justin Swafford's strategy, though. He could have stretched it to lap 53 and had one pit stop versus everybody else having 2. Or making it a 2-stop race versus everybody else having 3. Went ahead and pitted on lap 46, so he will have to make it a 3-stop race. Looked like he was going to sneak another win out of this one, and now currently running in 14th. He is gaining on 13th and 12th, who are just over 3 seconds ahead. There's David Ballard in 13th. Leah just ahead of him, and PJ Cox just ahead of him. Pudge up in 10th. Pudge's pit strategy tonight has been a bit interesting as well. Pudge stopped the first time on lap 24, then 20 laps later on lap 44. Look at Whipple. Whipple a bit out of shape. That loss of momentum through the short chute between 1 and 2 allows Pudge to draft back up and get past. That is not for position, but it does help Pudge gain a little ground on Patrick Piper, having a little drafting help. Patrick Piper definitely had a rough qualifying run. Started the race in 22nd, has made his way up 13 spots to 9th. Patrick is actually the second highest mover after Pudge, who started in 26th. He hit the wall on both laps. Colby Whipple also got a little kiss from the wall on both his qualifying laps. Started back in 27th, currently in 19th. Jeremy Gardner, though, has dominated tonight. He has led every green flag lap except for under pit stops. That's the only time he has given up the lead tonight. And he continues to hold off Blair Patterson by about 12 seconds. Everybody will make a final stop in about 6 laps. Some of them can go a little bit further. Unless, of course, we get that caution. Oh, Nate got the wall again. Kenny Hyde Jr. back behind by about 4 seconds. Expect him to gain a lot of ground on this lap as Nate tries to recover from getting the wall out of turn 4. See if we can get a look and see just how hard Nate got. I don't think he got it as hard as the last time we saw him get it. Doesn't look like the spoiler is bent as he comes back by. Not as bad as last time. A rough night for Nate, though. This is one of his favorite tracks. He's usually... oh, Nate goes to pit road with 25 to go. Can he go the distance from here? That is a bit of a surprise for Nate Johnson to be on pit road. I have actually heard the golf course at Indy is very, very, I'm not going to say very, very good, but very fun to play. I've heard it's not the best course in the world, but it's fun to play just for the fact that you are, you're at Indy playing the golf course. I actually had somebody at work tell me that a couple weeks ago. Gardner out front. Blair Patterson in second. 12.5 seconds back. Kenny Hyde Jr. in third. Richie Joplin now up into fourth. Jacob Morgan now up into fifth after starting 15th. Though Richie Joplin and Jacob Morgan both have come on extremely strong in the second half of this season. Jacob wasn't even in part of the first half of this season, but has come on strong, almost getting the win at Pocono, having several close calls with victory lane so far this season. Richie won at Talladega, had a rough season prior to Dega, but since Talladega has just marched his way up, has been in the top 3 multiple times, has been in contention to win multiple times. I would expect another win out of that driver before this season's out. I would expect Jacob Morgan to get that first win in this league sometime before the end of the season as well. And hey, even after this season, as green flag stops are underway a little bit early for a few drivers. Speaking of after the season, June 22nd, we'll have an American Cancer Society race broadcast here. You can find all the information on our Facebook page and our Twitter and our Instagram. But it is going to be an awesome event. Last year raised over $3,000. This year shooting for $5,000 and already have commitments from several Nowski Nation drivers. They're going to show up in force to help raise money for the American Cancer Society. Gardner is in for his final pit stop. Blair Patterson reclaims the lead. 22 laps to go. Everybody can make it from here. Kenny Hyde Jr. staying out. He's going to take second. Richie stays out. He's taking third. Jacob stays out. Patrick Piper is on pit road. Brandon Newey in fifth. Lonnie Roberts now in sixth. Pudge now up into seventh. Gardner on his way out. Patrick Piper, PJ Cox, and David Ballard on pit road. Kenny Hyde Jr. now comes to pit road. Here comes Richie. And no, it looked like we had a few more there just doing the snake down the straightaway. Blair Patterson now has a 12-second lead over Jacob Morgan. But these drivers still have to come to pit road. David Ballard has had an incident. Let's see what happened. There he is coming off pit road. Oh, just goes around, tried to get on it too hard. Goes through the grass, does manage to get the car going again. And a variety of cars. Patrick Piper coming by Jacob Morgan. Blair Patterson still out, has not been to pit road. Lonnie Roberts is on pit road. Patrick Gitter is on pit road. Being very, very careful to get... Oh! Blake Vicken, a little wobble as he got down onto pit road. Blair Patterson now gives up the lead. Will we see Jacob Morgan in this time? Yes, we will. Brandon Newey. He comes in. Will Pudge? No, Pudge looks like he might stay out a little while longer. And we have to wonder what Justin Swafford is going to do here. From where he last pitted, he cannot go the distance, and he is racing Jeremy Gardner. Gardner has completed his pit stop, now in second. He will reclaim the lead once Pudge hits pit road. We'll have to find out at some point what Swafford, what the change was in pit strategy there. That was a big surprise. Pudge still in the lead. He can go a little bit further. Gardner 5 1/4 seconds behind. And Patrick Gitter has completed his pit stop, currently scored. Oh! That was Kenny Hyde Jr. locking him up onto pit road. No, I'm sorry, that was Ryan McDaniel locking him up onto pit road. Hopefully Ryan does not get bit by the speeding bug on this one. Ryan predicted himself for the win tonight, but yeah. Obviously had some issues early on. Had to tow to pit road, and it all went awry from there. Swafford now coming to pit road for the final time. Pudge still out front. Gardner in second, though, is closing down on him. And it looks like Pudge has damage again on the front of that. Yeah, he does. A little bit of damage on the left front, possible bump drafting damage. Fairly minimal, but he does have some. And here comes Pudge to pit road for the last time. Gardner will come by and reassume the lead. And look who's trying to come by to unlap himself. Patrick Gitter in 15th has gotten back to the lead lap. I'm guessing Gitter opened up the nitrous bottle. Jeremy Gardner, though, still holds the lead, even though Gitter has gotten back by. Still a big difference in position, still a big difference in points. And now 15 cars back on the lead lap. All right, let's take a look at the field, see how they're running. Gardner out front. Nate Johnson currently in second place. Blair Patterson back in third now. Kenny Hyde Jr. has made his way up into fourth. Jacob Morgan started in 15th, up into 5th. If Morgan ever figures out how to qualify, these guys are going to be in trouble. He has done this every race he has been in, not qualified well, charged his way, raced his way up to the front. Brandon Newey currently running in 6th. Richie Joplin up to 7th now. Lonnie Roberts in 8th. Patrick Piper, who started 22nd, is up into 9th, but the biggest mover of the night in 10th place is Pudge. After starting in 22nd, a horrible problems on qualifying, still managing to make a comeback here. Justin Swafford in 11th. I'm trying to figure out the strategy here. It looked like he was going to make it a 2-stop race, but on his second stop, he did not stretch it. Leah currently in 12th. PJ Cox in 13th. Jarrett Woodard currently in 14th. And, of course, Patrick Gitter, the last car on the lead lap, in 15th. Blake Vicken in 16th. Managed to get that car woed up before he hit pit road last time. James Smith in 17th. And Colby Whipple up to 18th after starting 27th. Sean Corbridge currently 19th. Ryan McDaniel in 20th. Ryan also did not get a speeding penalty, although it got really close there. Russell Worth in 21st after a great qualifying run. David Ballard in 22nd. Lane Corey 23rd. Brandon McLaughlin off track in 24th, John Billingsley 25th, Mickey Mouse 26th, and Joshua Anderson in 27th. Jeremy Gardner's lead over Nate Johnson. 1.7 seconds. Blair Patterson back in third. I'm looking at Gardner trying to figure out if he had problems on pit road or what happened. It looks like he might be trying to stretch fuel. Nate Johnson now on pit road. Blair Patterson to second. Gardner let Patrick get her by very easily, did not fight it out. And now Blair Patterson gaining on him. I have to wonder if he took it easy the first few laps trying to save some fuel here. Will Gardner crank it back up and pull away from Patterson? Patterson within half a second. Last time by, Gardner ran a 55.3 and Blair ran a 53.6. Gardner's fastest lap tonight, a 52. Oh, Gardner just cranked it back up a little bit. Knocked a second off the previous lap time. I think he was saving fuel the last 10 laps. We'll see if he can pull away from Blair here in a moment. Blair's still 0.6 of a second faster. Jacob Morgan now battling Brandon Newey. Morgan up into third. Newey back to fourth. Kenny Hyde Jr. in fifth. I'm willing to bet this battle between Brandon Newey and Jacob Morgan is not over yet. 10 laps to go. Gardner back up to race speed, it appears. And look who he's about to lap, a guy who he was racing with not that long ago, Nate Johnson. Gardner just a couple hundred yards behind Nate. There you see the gap. Blair Patterson staying right on Gardner's back bumper though. I don't see any damage on Jeremy Gardner's car. He just does not seem to have the same speed he had earlier in the race. We thought he was saving fuel there for a bit, but he last pitted on lap 58. We've seen drivers make it 24 to 26 laps on fuel. I'd be surprised if he was that short on fuel that he couldn't do 22 laps. Unless he did not get a full tank on that last stop. Blair Patterson all over the back bumper. Their lap times have equalized. And they are closing in on the lap traffic ahead. Meanwhile, Brandon Newey has not let Jacob Morgan out of his sight for third. Kenny Hyde Jr. back in fifth, all alone. Lonnie Roberts in sixth with Pudge all over the back bumper in seventh. What a comeback for Pudge. Started dead last in the field, has made his way up to seventh, might be able to take sixth from Lonnie. He dives it into the inside and out, breaks him into the turn. Oh, washed up a little bit off the turn, but manages to keep it off the wall. Now he's got Kenny Hyde Jr. in his sights. Oh, Kenny loses the back end a little bit off of turn 4, and now here comes Pudge up on the high side. Gardner and Patterson have now got up into lap traffic. Russellworth moving up to the high side to let him go. Blair Patterson trying to hold on to that top 10 points position. He'll pick up quite a bit today. Patrick Gitter has made his way up into 12th since getting back to the lead lap. Looked like a huge points night for Jeremy Gardner earlier, but Patrick Gitter has slowly chipped away. Patrick Gitter 1.1 second behind Leah and 5 seconds behind Patrick Piper, and he is gaining on him. 6 laps to go for Jeremy Gardner. Last time by, Gardner was 0.2 of a second faster. And it looks like he might be starting to pull away from Blair just a little bit. Jacob Morgan in 3rd place has started to pull away from Newey in 4th. Pudge now securely up to 5th. He has gotten past Lonnie Roberts and Kenny Hyde Jr. Gardner's lead staying steady at about 1/4 of a second. Blair runs him down on corner entry, and Jeremy pulls away on corner exit. And you see Blair just hanging it all out here. He's pushing for everything he can. 4 to go. Jacob Morgan in 3rd, 17 seconds behind this battle. Brandon Newey 1 second behind Morgan. Pudge, he is 6.7 seconds back from Brandon Newey. Lonnie Roberts in 6th. Almost 4 seconds behind Pudge. Kenny Hyde Jr. closing in on him. On Lonnie, currently 1.1 seconds back. Swafford now back up into 8th. Richie Joplin currently running in 9th. Patrick Piper in 10th. Patrick Gitter has gotten past PJ Cox. He is now up to 11th. Three laps to go for Jeremy Gardner. Can he hold Blair Patterson off for 3 more laps? Blair sends it deep into turn 1 through the short chute. Gardner pulls away a little bit again. Lap traffic will definitely come into play here. Back through 3 and 4, he'll get popsicle sticks in the air. It'll be 2 to go at the line. Oh, Gardner getting a little bit wobbly off of turn 4. 2 laps to go for Jeremy Gardner. Could he get race win number 2 and close the points down tonight? Blair really sends it through the short chute, all back end all over the place. And they are still pulling away from Jacob Morgan, now 18 seconds. Brandon Newey starting to run Morgan down, but does he have enough time to close that 2-second gap? Here comes Gardner out of turn 4 looking for the what? What is going on? Gardner's out of fuel. He is on pit road. Jeremy Gardner just ran out of fuel. Blair Patterson is taking the white flag. Gardner had an amazing opportunity tonight but didn't get enough fuel. Now Blair Patterson is going to pull it off. Blair Patterson going for his second win of the season. Jacob Morgan running second, and the battle is on. Brandon Newey in third. Here comes Pudge in fourth. Through 3 and 4, one last time. Blair Patterson on the last lap. Coming to the white flag, took the lead. He's got Patrick Piper moving out of the way. And here comes Patterson to get his second win of the season at the Brickyard. Jacob Morgan comes out of turn 4. He is going to come home in second place. Newey is going to come home in third. Pudge, what a comeback for Pudge, coming from 26th place to finish 4th. Lonnie Roberts comes home 5th. Justin Swafford 6th. Kenny Hyde Jr. 2nd. Jeremy Gardner in 8th. Richie Joplin 9th. Patrick Gitter makes an amazing comeback in 10th. Gardner finishing 8th. It looked like Gardner was going to make up a lot of points here tonight. Only beats him by a couple of spots in the end. Let's see if we can get a word with Brandon Newey. Actually, I do not see Brandon in the chat. Let's see if we can get a hold of Jacob. Hey, Jacob, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, what's up, Doug?
Hey, you look like you were going to have third, but there on that last lap, you ended up pulling off a second place finish. But, man, what a run
Gardner,
tonight.
Yeah, man, Gardner didn't have enough fuel, man. So this is my first runner-up, man. That was a good run tonight.
It was a great comeback, too. Started in 15th, and this has been the thing all season. Since you joined the group, really, your qualifying has not been great, but you race your way up toward the front.
Yeah, man, I've been calling off the practice races, man, because I did so good in them. So I'm like, hey, if I run just the race itself, I might finish good.
Well, whatever the trick was, man, it definitely worked tonight. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, Doug, man.
Jacob Morgan comes home second, waiting to see if Blair will join us for the interview. Let's get a quick word with Pudge here. Hey, Pudge, it's Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir, Doug. What's up, brother?
You started dead last and come back for a top 5 finish. That is an impressive run tonight, bud.
Man, I appreciate it. I'm sweating so bad. I was driving my tail off, Doug, and it was a good race with everybody. And man, I just wish we had a few more laps because I had just enough fuel.
Fuel seemed to be the name of the game here tonight, but man, you had a couple of times we looked at you. You had damage, and you were still moving forward.
I did the first 25 laps of the race. I was damaged, and I had to pit and all this other stuff. I mean, I thought we were going to finish terrible, but I'm just glad it played out the way it did, man. Congrats to Blair Patterson on the win. Good job, guys. And Doug, thank you so much for your broadcast, buddy.
My pleasure, bud. All right, doesn't look like we are going to get to talk to our winner tonight, but congratulations to Blair Patterson. What a race, a heartbreak for Jeremy Gardner, an up and down night for Patrick Gitter. This has been a wild one. What looked like it was going to be a massive change in the points coming into or after this race just doesn't play out nearly like we expected. Patrick Gitter comes back for a top 10 finish. Gardner runs out of fuel, finishing 8th, and doesn't close up a lot of the points, so we might, Patrick Gitter may end up continuing to pull away before this one is all said and done. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. We've got something that is definitely going to be fun and special, and it's at Talladega, so you don't want to miss out on that. Thank you guys so much. Hope you had as much fun as we did, and have a great night.